Yeah,
100%.
okay. But leading off of talking Washington. So don't look now, Bags, but the Commanders are 2-1. The
Oh, dude.
Eagles are 2-1. And the Cowboys and the Giants are both 1-2 heading into next week. So the Cowboys coming off of loss to the Ravens, which was 28-25. But if you watch the game, really wasn't that close. It was 28-6 at some point or 28-3 at some point, I think. It looks like their last home games against the Saints and then against the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs last year. What's going on with Dallas? And are you guys the third best team in your own division, Bags?
Honestly, for the podcast who doesn't know, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. I always tell people I'm a realistic Cowboys fan, though I'm not the one who thinks we're going to win the Super Bowl every year. I'm not one of those obnoxious fans. I'd be the first one to tell you that we ain't doing shit. I prefer to expect the worst but hope for the best, right? But realistically, I always expect the worst. And if you're a real Cowboys fan, that's how you got to be, honestly. But I would say honestly, right now, the way the Commanders played tonight, I like the way they're gelling. I like Dan Quinn. He left Dallas, and I feel like the breakup wasn't as bad because of what happened in the Packers in the playoffs. After that game, when Dan Quinn left, we're like, all right, whatever, like kind of like fuck off. You know what I mean? But now seeing how they are in Commanders, I like their style of football, kind of their approach. The way they want to be physical and whatnot. I feel like the Cowboys defense definitely had that mindset. They were flying to the ball more. I feel like Dan Quinn was letting them loose, and I don't know. They look like a completely different team. I was just telling Renee, my boss, that the Cowboys are just fucking soft right now. They're soft. They're getting punched in the mouth, both sides of the ball, offense and defense. They're getting punched in the mouth. They're catching. They just don't look like they're disciplined. The run fills are terrible. They're running themselves out of the play. When they are in a position, they're getting punched in the mouth. I don't know. It's just not looking good. And the offense looks okay. I think our O line's not playing that well. We have two rookies starting, so that's kind of as presumed in a way. You know what I mean? But I feel like the Cowboys have been able to put up points and get yards and score, but it's at times where we don't. It's not at the right times. You know what I mean? It's junk yards at the end of the game, but they just look like an undisciplined football team right now. They look undisciplined and they look soft. Those are just the facts.
Yeah, a lot of the times the defense, yeah, you miss what's it called? Mike Quinn, what's his name? Dan Quinn.
Oh,
Dan
Dan
Quinn.
Quinn, yeah,
Yeah.
we're definitely missing him. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, but like you said, it made it an easy breakup because of what happened last year. And now you
yeah,
guys got Mike Zimmer. That's where I kind of got the names confused.
yeah,
But a lot of the times the defense is going to take on the personality of its best player. So you look at those old championship Rams teams, Aaron
hmm,
Donald, what you couldn't punch Aaron Donald in the mouth and not expect him to grab your
yeah,
face mask and bring you this close to his face. You look at TJ Watt, no one's going to punch TJ Watt in the mouth
yeah.
and kind of back down. No one's going to
The
punch
Chiefs,
Miles
Chris
Garrett in the
Jones,
mouth.
Chris
So
Jones, Chiefs.
this
I
this
mean,
is this is all on Micah Parsons as far as the defensive intensity. Because he disappears, and when he's not having his way, he shuts down. You can see it in his body language, and when he's not bringing the level of intensity that he needs to really wreck the game, the whole defense is like, okay, I guess if Micah's not out there making plays, and I guess it's okay for me to fucking tiptoe through this gap and get fucking
yeah,
blown out the water. I guess it's
yeah,
okay for linemen to be fucking making it to the second level every other play. So, and then
yeah.
Micah has the nerve to call people out at the end of the
I was
game,
gonna
man.
say you saw that him and Demarcus Lawrence. Hey, that's not a good look, bro. I looked at the lip sync and it didn't sound too good. Basically,
Micah,
you talking shit. Yeah, basically Michael was trying to tell the whole defense, fucking pull your head out of your ass. Like, what the fuck are we doing? And then Demarcus Lawrence like, what the fuck are you doing? You ain't doing shit. You're getting punched in the mouth. It's basically what he.
yeah, Micah, yeah, and like you said, it's soft. Because Micah, like we've talked about Micah a lot. He's fast, is all get out. He is a little bit undersized for a D end, and two, when you look at the elite D ends in the league, Trey Hendrickson, Aiden Hutchinson, T.J. Watt, Miles Garrett, they all have positive wingspans. They all have long ass arms.
Yeah,
Micah
Max
Parsons has
Crosby.
little baby T Rex arms. So if
Yeah,
when them big old linemen they get their arms on him,
yeah,
it's kind of hard. Once you get your
yeah,
hands on him, it's a little bit tough for him to get out off of the
Yeah.
block. And then, but two, I know the defense played bad, but I can't let Dak off the hook. I can't. I can't let Dak off the hook. This reminded me of the Green Bay playoff game, but not last year's. It's reminded me of the Green Bay playoff game his rookie year, where they went down 31-3, and then he wants to have a bowl of Campbell's soup at halftime and
Yeah.
try to come back and then
Yeah.
lose by 3
Can't
points.
happen.
You can't go down 28-3 against Lamar Jackson primetime NFL Fox game of the week. I don't care what the defense is doing. You can't let that happen. Dak, you got to find some way to get some points on the board. You got to make play. You got to convert some third downs. You can't throw picks. We cannot be
Yeah.
down 28-3.
Yeah. You know what I think? And to Dak's credit, if you listen to the interview after the game, the post game interview, he did say, you know what, you're playing against one of the biggest offensive juggernauts. They're explosive. They make big plays. They put up 25 points. We got to win that game. As an offense, we got to score. So, he did admit, defense is getting a lot of the blame, which, of course they should. But at the same time, if you're holding that deep, that offense to 25 points the whole game, like as a team, you need to score fucking points to win that game. You know what I mean? So I think he was right in that standpoint, and that's always been Dak.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's why it's hard to hate on the guy, dude, because off the field, he's a stand-up guy. He always says the right thing. He's a good leader. He'll take it to the chin. But it's just like, man, I don't care how good of a guy you are off and you say all the right things. At the end of the day, it just depends. It just matters what happens on the field. You could be a Mr. Nice Guy all you want, but if facts over feelings, if you're not producing, the results are the results. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but he did say the right thing that the offense needs to score.
Yeah.
But it starts with him. The buck stops with him.
Yeah, and pause on Dak takes it to the chin too.
Yeah. Where's the run game too? You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Sorry. You gotta get on it. You gotta eventually move on to Jerry Jones about what he said about Derrick Henry, why they didn't sign him too. Jesus.
All right, we'll talk about Jerry. But
Yeah.
what takeaways did you have from the game, Marsh?
Shoot, man, I was just gonna say I agree heavy with the Micah criticism because if he's not doing a pass rush, it's like he's almost like taken out of the game. Like I had watched a little film breakdown from the New Orleans game. They were basically running at his side the entire time because he takes himself out of the play when it's a run, like almost every time, whether if it's not containing the edge or if it's over pursuing or if it's giving up his gap. And like I don't know what he has to do in order to not do that. I know um like you gotta just have a better mindset with that, like especially on the defensive side of the ball, you gotta have that edge like 99% of the time when you're playing. So, I mean, the fact that teams are literally like running at his side instead of like completely altering their play to go away from him is like very telling, to be quite honest. I don't know if it's because he has to change his position or if he's I don't know what it is, but teams are definitely running more at his side, and that's really not that good of a look. But same thing with the whole Dak thing. Like, if you just look at his like without watching the game, and then if you just look at his stats, it looks like he had a good game. I believe he had like a 96 QBR rating, no picks, two tubs, but a lot of that was, because after being up, Ravens was being up, they have that big lead. I mean, at that point, they're giving you everything underneath. So he's getting all those completions, he's getting
Yep.
all those extra
Campbell's.
yards, basically. Yeah. So it's like that's how kind of got back into the game is because the Ravens were letting them get all the underneath stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you were saying, two bags, like he's a obviously like great captain. I mean, he's well spoken. Um, but it's like that can only take you so far. Like you guys got to win the big games, like
Yeah. For
especially
sure.
against a team like this where it's a potential team that you could potentially see in the playoffs if you were to get that far. Like these are like big time games that you like literally need to win throughout the season, not only to give everyone else confidence, but like give your own team confidence, give yourself that confidence too.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. When your best defensive lineman can't stop the run, you can't stop the run. And
Yeah.
like you said, He's physically not built to stop the run. He has little baby
That's what I'm saying.
T-Rex
I think it
arms.
has to do with his size, like you said. We just think he's a little small. Like he gets pushed around when it comes to the run game.
Yeah,
He's
and
just
and
yeah,
and that just goes to show the Cowboys. But then that puts a lot of pressure on your offense because now you can't play from behind. You got to put yourselves in position where Micah 75% is rushing the passer. If we're up 2 touchdowns and we're running the ball 70% of the time, like you said, when Micah's not rushing the passer, he's getting fucking driven into the second level or just overrunning plays,
Yeah.
yeah,
rushing the passer on obvious rundowns. So it puts a lot of pressure on the offense. But hey, man, at the end of the day, when you're the highest paid person in NFL history, you got to take that pressure, big
yeah,
dog.
Yeah,
You
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 have to.
can't allow us to go down 28-3 in
yeah,
the first half. You can't allow us to go down 44-3
yeah,
in the first half against New Orleans Saints, who just lost to the
yeah.
Eagles. And now you blink and it's one you're third place. You're tied for last place in the division, playing a Giants team who just came off a pretty good win against Cleveland, a team who on offense looks like Malik Neighbors is looking like that guy. And
Yeah.
Danny Jones is starting to get to his legs under him, starting to play with some confidence. They already don't like you, and they're like, "Fuck." I mean, we're 1-2. They don't look that damn good either.
It's going to be a
What's
good game. 100%. I'm telling you, it's going to be closer than what I
is
think
it?
people.
Is it in? Where's it at?
Do you think that, dude? There's no way Dallas can play 3 home games in a row. Maybe.
Yeah, can't be. No, it's probably yeah. You're right. It's probably in New York. But yeah.
Mm.
So I mean,
Here's
it's gonna.
hey, this I gotta say something though. You know I'm a diehard Micah Parsons fan. I got a Cowboys jersey. I fucking the shit's hanging up right now. If he keeps playing the way he's playing right now, and this bullshit keeps happening, and just I just don't like how it's going. I don't, dude, because he's gonna be the highest paid defensive
You're
player
gonna
ever,
have
dude.
to.
But
You're gonna
me as
have
a
to.
Cowboys fan, it's like,
Fuck.
and I love Micah Parsons too, dude. But it's just like, bro,
You got
like
the. You got the first. You
it's like
got.
instead of Dak Prescott, we're gonna pay the highest quarterback ever, and no fuck. We really don't want to pay this fucker, but what option do we have?
Yeah, you'd be paying the highest paid quarterback ever, the highest paid defensive player ever, and second highest paid receiver ever. So or third highest. What's CD? Third, second, or third?
I think
Yeah,
it's
I think so. And that doesn't leave much room to pay anybody else that comes in
Nobody
and
else. They gonna have to fuck around, sign me, you, and Bags off the
like
practice squad.
like
After
like
you paying them.
special teams coach.